Hello, I'm Jay, also known as Lord Gazumba. How are you tonight? Unfortunately, none of my players could make it this evening, so I'm running this one solo. We're going to talk about adventure number 828, uh, aptly titled Murlocs, More Murlocs, and Even More Murlocs. This is an adventure that we have a lot of fun playing. Murlocs, as a lot of people know, are a major pain in the butt in the WoW world. So let's start there. So say you are sorry about that. Say you are, I don't know, that low level in World of Warcraft, and you're walking in, minding your own business. You're in the Elwyn forests. You're an elf, or I don't think you're an elf. You're a human. You're wandering around. You go off the trail, which you should never do unless you have quests. You go off the trail, and there's this fish-headed thing wandering around, and you get close to it, and it attacks you. And you're like, "Oh, I can handle this. It's one little fish-headed monster." And the next thing you know, there's 5 or 6 or 7 of them ganging up on you, and you've had your first death ever in World of Warcraft. And trust me, how many times that happened to me? Yeah, it was a fun thing. It was annoying, but it really taught you a lesson on what not to do in that game. And the Murlocs are such swarming creatures. Plus, they make that awful gurgling noise. So. In my deviousness, I said, you know what? There's no reason why this monster shouldn't be in first edition AD&D. Maybe we can find some figures, and there's a logical reason for them, and we'll explain that. And there is. I created one. So Murlocs are what you would call an annoyance monster. They don't produce anything. They don't have an end goal, but I've kind of incorporated them into our campaign. So particularly around the Altamira area. And if you look on the map here, you look on our map, and you can see in the center map, and you look up into the upper left-hand corner is the city of Altamira. Okay, in the upper left-hand corner. And that's the county of Ulick, right on the border with the Principality of Ulick. And you have all these mountains and hills in the area here. Well, we've put that is an area that there's a lot of Underdark tunnels. So they've had actually Murlocs in Altamira, a bunch of them a little while back, and so the city knows how to deal with them. But the county of Ulick is slow to do anything. If you look into the original folio, so the county of Ulick was run by a druid. I'm thinking to myself, if there's a druid running an entire area, what would that do? What would be the management style or the governing body with a druid at the head? And we all came to the agreement that it would be kind of hands off for the most part. Let bygones be bygones, and let's just do what we need to do to get by, and nature will take its course in a lot of things. So we have it. The county of Ulick has not a very good militia, not great response times to threats. So the synopsis of this adventure is simple. We are going to have Murlocs of influx on a community called Crystal Lakes. Crystal Lakes is in the mountains. It's like would you consider a resort town where there's a lot of more wealthy people living, and there's a lot of individuals that are not apt to deal, or not set to deal with monster types like this. So it's very simple. The base synopsis is Juan Carlos, the captain of the guard and militia at Altamira, will ask the reborn to come to him and state, we have it appears to be an outbreak of Murlocs at Crystal Lakes, and the word has gotten back to Altamira, the county of Ulick militia that were in the town and that were sent. Were all just killed. Part of the town's on fire, as you can see in the pictures. Very nice job, Bill, on that. I mean, he's fantastic with the terrain effects. And what we are going to see here is, can you please deal with this menace? So this is going to be a basic hack and slash fest. It's going to be a one-nighter adventure. You're not going to have any. You're not going to have a deep plot here. This will be the last published, or this will be the last streamed adventure we do for a week and a half, as I'm going on vacation starting this weekend, and I won't be back till next Sunday. So we'll have our Gavin show next Sunday. So there will be no streams during the week next week. So tonight and tomorrow will be the last two we have for about a week and a half. So I didn't want to leave anything. I didn't want to leave anything out there. So I just made it so that we could. Hey Brian, thanks man for popping on. I wanted to make it so that it would be just a one-night adventure, a hack and slash fest, and that we were going to have just a little bit of fun, just killing things. So that's basically the gist of things on this one. They will go here, and then they'll find that it's a bunch of Murlocs. As you can see in the upper left-hand corner picture, the first encounter will be near the church, and then they'll go from that point on and find that there's still some people alive in the city within the town, which is great, and that it needs to have some kind of, there's something behind it. Now, if you know from my world, if you've ever seen any other or heard me talk about it, the main thing behind Murlocs in my campaign is Croatoans, and the thought process behind that was Croatoans are breed Murlocs so that they can raid the surface world a lot easier because of their Croatoans have a severe light susceptibility. Well, in this one, because you have your Crystal Lakes, and it's kind of like you have your hot springs here up on the hill area. So we'll see what happens as they try and clear out the town first, then go north up into the hill area and deal with the threat up there. So what you will see is you'll see a lot of different types of Murlocs fighting, some spellcasters, some that wear weapons, some that don't. And they'll go into some, to put a synopsis down, and you can see a picture I have in the lower left-hand corner of certain, and they were all painted figures that we located. I'll have a couple more than that. I've added some since that picture. And then the fight will ensue, and it's going to be a hack and slash fest on this one. This is going to be a decent one-nighter adventure. So let's discuss the Reborn real quick here. The party we have, it's a cool adventuring party. Like I said, this one has just recently been reformed from characters. Let me take a look here. So start out with, these are the characters that will be attending, and then hopefully we'll be interested in tomorrow night as well. So Emerson Winchester the 4th, 8th level Paladin, fighter subclass human, and he's lawful good. So he is Emerson Winchester III's legitimate son, and he acts nothing like his deceased father. He who was a fallen paladin. So he's trying to stay straight and narrow, to not follow in his father's footsteps. Carrie D's human, chaotic neutral, 8th level swashbuckler, which is a fighting thief type. She was a henchman in the Night Stalkers in Altamira. And she jumped ship to come to this group. She wanted to go out on her own. Plus, she wanted to be treated nicer. So, Carrie is another NPC. Not much in the ways of the world. She is. Mark's characters: Illithiri Sillin, 8th level specialty priest of Sol and Earthalandra, dark elf chaotic good. So you got a dark elf female cleric type worshipping a surface god. Very interesting. Even though she is from the Underdark. Her and she's got some really cool archery enhancement spells. Really, Sol and Earthalandra is a neat one to do that on. Melzar Selin, her brother. Dark Elf Chaotic Neutral, 9th level Earth Elementalist. He really hates everyone. He's not a fan of a lot of different characters, but he's good. Earth Elementalist is from the 2nd edition. He has a lot of earth casting spells. Wall of Iron, Iron Maiden, Sandstorm, Sand Skin, Stone Skin. 3 stones, Bolt of Stone, Iron Storm. There's a lot of good metal enhancements and stone enhancement spells for an Earth Elementalist. They can be really nasty in combat, and he's 9th level, so he just has 5th level spells now. All right, Alan's characters: Pat Smith, very basic name, half elf, high, female, neutral good, bounty hunter 7, mage 7. Kind of a mistress of disguises. First couple of ventures when she came out, she was actually disguised as a male the whole time. So kind of a backup character, but still can hold her own. Angus McCracken, neutral human male, 7th level Saxon, which is a foot knight, subclass of Cavalier. Really great armor class. Throws around some heavy weapons. I think he has a 2-handed sword of dancing, which we may see come out. So he does a lot of damage with 2-handed weapons. Neutral character too. There's, like I said, it's a mix of neutrals and goods in this group. Bill's Sunhill Padrine, 9th level specialty priestess of Palor. Best healer we have in the entire campaign. She has a healing cap of Luna and gets enhancements on her healing spells as it is. She really, really puts out a lot of healing because of that. We in our specialty priest lists, I did it via sphere, so every priest has their own list. So if you have a major sphere of healing, you get healing circle and greater healing circle at much higher level. But healing circle's at 4th, and healing circle in non-combat situations. It's a 10-foot radius, so you can get up to 10 of you included 10 characters in that healing circle. It's like die 8 plus level healing. So imagine that doubled up to 10 characters, and it's 1 4th level spell. She does a fantastic job with really cranking out the healing. Plus she has enhancements, and we probably won't see much of the use of this, but enhancements on turning as well. All right. Bill's other one, Aelwyn Eldred, 8th level. Some of these characters are Knights of York too. Aelwyn is 8th level Ranger. Human, cat good. Mostly goes with a single weapon style, but he can go to weapon style if he needs to. Bill's gonna be a little late. His son's got a soccer game, so he's not gonna be there like 9 o'clock. So we're gonna go with 8 characters until he gets there, and then he can just jump right in. And so decent ranger character, definitely. He won't be getting any of his bonuses. He's got goblinoids and then undead as his second preferred, so he's not going to be seeing that against Murlocs. So, and then Walt's characters. This is an old character, Vosh, 8th level fighter, human, female, neutral alignment. Worships Sharis, which is Forgotten Realms deity. It's kind of semi-ported over, a lot of debauchery and free love kind of character. If you go way back in time, Vosh and Ro are 2 sisters that Walt has, and we had way back in the days in our watching wrestling. There was a bad guy named Big John Studd from the Great Kingdom. If you remember the wrestler, so this is one of the daughters. Ro is the other one. So this character, he's probably had, oh my god, I think he's had this character 30 years almost. And she's only 8th level. She has a really cool healing item called the Caduceus Snake. It's alive. I guess it's shaped like the healing. Uh, hey Brian, the healing aspect of the doctor's symbol. And what it does when she needs it to heal her, it bites her. It's in her like pocket, and it bites her. First time it bites her, it doesn't cure critical wounds. The second time it bites her, it doesn't cure serious. The third time it bites her, it doesn't cure light. Um, and that effect is good for once per week. I think this was in Harbinger of Darkness, which is on our Wall of Fame. I think that's one of the magic items that came out of that great adventure. I think it's by Underworld Publishing. It's really hard to get a hold of, but it's really cool. There's an evil necromancer in it. There's all sorts of cool, neat items. So, as you can see, Brian, I'm running solo tonight. None of the crew was able to get on. So, thanks for jumping on there, man. Really appreciate it. So, and then Moira Sasheverol. I don't know if I pronounced that right. 9th level thief, halfling, chaotic neutral female. Fights Basilard. Basilard has a Basilard that paralyzes upon backstab capability. He's got this character's got is an old character. Got some really old items on, but yeah, 2+3 Basillard's nothing to sneeze at for a halfling on backstabbing, considering she gets quadruple damage, and Murlocs are subject to backstab, so that'll be I imagine she's been doing a lot of sneaking around. The one negative to her is her armor class is not that good. Her armor class is like 3, which I'd say in this party is probably the worst. She's the only one that's not under 0, so she doesn't want to get caught out there. But we'll see, because with the swarming of them. So if we go to the and I showed this on Sunday evening. Oh, look at that! Look at one camera. The Altamira Mercenary Group list. The Reborn is right there. Okay, right there. So they're just new back into it, but they got some reputation because some of the characters in there. They're going to try to work their way back up the listing of notoriety rating in Altamira. They have like I said, a couple 9th level characters, a couple 8th level characters, and overall it's a real good mix of adventurers. Got some hardcore fighters. You got a paladin backup fighter. You have your good thievery. You have 2 good spellcasters, and one really nasty Earthbound Mentalist, and you have a fantastic specialty piece of Palor, and then you have a good specialty piece of Solar Thalandra. But you don't have an archer, a natural archer in this group, but that's okay. I mean, I think they're going to get by fine. So, and that's the group. And what I'm going to do is, per Brian's request, and I appreciate the request there, man. We're going to give a shout out when we start to the group, and we're going to. By the way, happy anniversary. Thanks, man. Happy anniversary. So we're going to allow all the players. I'm going to ask them, and I'm assuming one of them probably won't. Bill won't be there, but I'm assuming one of them won't. But allow them to say, hey, who they are and who they're playing, and if they want to go a little bit in description on them, I'm going to allow them to do that. That's fine. It's a great idea to get them to open up a little bit about their characters, so that if someone who just jumps in or doesn't know much about the campaign will say, oh wow, okay, so there's some backstory to it. So you're going to see a lot of killing and a lot of fighting. I mean, seriously, I got the figures all prepped up already, and it's a lot of figures, so it's going to be, hopefully we don't, you're welcome, man, you're welcome. I saw your pictures. Where you said it was in Detroit today. That's awesome. So I see a lot of this being a wear down type thing very quickly. but it probably these one nighters tend to go late because I don't realize how much I've tried to pack into one evening. So we may be running late. We may be running through midnight on this one. I'm not sure 100%, but that's okay. You know, we'll have some fun with it. Like I said, I'm going on vacation. My vacation's really starting Friday, so. Oh yeah, I saw the pics on that, man. That looked awesome in Detroit. The Star Wars Power of Costume exhibit. That's fantastic. Glad to see you had a good time today, man. That's so wonderful that you were able to enjoy a day with your wife. On your ninth anniversary, correct? Ninth is great. Yeah, see what happens when you get to 22, like me. So you got 13, 13 more to go. So I had Bill paint up a couple extra special figures. I got a really new special Murloc figure I've never used before. We'll bring that one out. That'll be kind of a little secret at the end, and then there'll be some surprises as to how to stop this. You have to figure out how not only can they kill or defeat Murlocs and the Croatoans, but they're gonna have to figure out how to stop this from happening all the time. So that's built into it. The terrain was specifically set to have like that tranquil lake. Yeah, as you can see in the lower left hand corner, the big lake that Bill built. So yeah, man, it's been that long time. I'm gonna put that down, man. Long time, 8 years. 8 years. If I'd known you were home, I could have had you jump in on this, man. So I thought you were gonna be out all day, but that's cool. So WoW is, when we were talking about World of Warcraft and how I miss it so much, but I miss it, but I don't miss it. It's a I don't miss the drama, man, of all those players. That's a lot of people to be responsible for, and just my God, worrying about people quitting and raiding and all that stuff. It just, man, I'm having so much more fun now doing this because it's just me and a couple of the guys playing and enjoying it. So, but I know that the add-on's coming out shortly, and I hope you guys, whoever plays it, has a lot of fun with it. It's going to be I can see right now that Jeremy's playing it right now. It says on my friends list here, so that Jeremy's off playing World of Warcraft right at the moment, right as we speak at this moment. So cool. So I think that's it's going to be a short one tonight. I think that's about it. We've gone over the characters. It's going to be the role playing aspect of this one's going to be very short because we want to get right into it. But I'm going to have that introduction part, and then there'll be some interaction if they can rescue some of the townsfolk as well. I have all the figures ready for them too. Hopefully they can fight their way through it. I don't think they'll have much of a problem with that. It's just as they get worn down, we'll see. We'll see how the challenges go. And I've made the challenges pretty difficult for this group. Bill chose this group, gave him the option 3 weeks ago to play either this group, Theo's Heroes, or the Huntsman, which is more of a bounty hunter group. Theo's Heroes is okay, it's kind of a jack of all trades group, but he chose this group, the Reborn. So this is who we're going to roll with. It's going to be a fun time. I like this group meshes together, and that's one of the reasons why we brought it back together. We separated this after we had a little bit of a disaster with one of our ex-players, and Brian knows who I'm discussing. And we lost a couple characters, and then my test character, Viersa, didn't go too well. I had a test class I was running. One of the few that's never made it through. This one did not make it through. Kind of the group kind of fell apart, and and we let these characters meld into other areas, and I don't know, a couple months ago, I said, we got plenty of characters here that we could really put these back together, and everyone agreed. So that's why they didn't have a name. Some really didn't have a set name back then, but someone came up with a Reborn, so that's where we are. They are reborn, and hopefully they all stay alive. And Yeah, Brian, I don't know where time goes, man. I mean, my son was just born when you came here, when you visited, and you made the wrong turn through Philadelphia, through Camden. I remember that, and it was so long ago, and I was in the old house, and times have changed, man. And people are going to Gen Con, and I'm sitting here in my house doing this instead of playing out there. But hey, got responsibilities, and I got a preset vacation already. So other than that, man, I appreciate you watching this. We're going to keep on rolling with this. When I get, be off all next week. We'll have the Gabbin at Lord Peakshaven number 11, I believe, or is it 10? My gosh. Yeah, I think it's 11. Gabbin at Lord Peakshaven number 11 will be on our proficiency and specialization system we use with skills and weaponry. It's a little different than feats in 3rd edition. We're going to discuss that, a week from Sunday. So after tonight and tomorrow night, I'll have it up online under the events and the ticker. I'll be off until Sunday the 12th. I'm going to miss doing this. There's been a lot of momentum. I really wish I could keep this going. Which we will, of course. But I just I need a week off away. Be down the shore on the beach. So the group won't be playing at that time, but when we get back, we're going to get right back into it. Probably do some really cool, epic things. But before that, it's going to be a little downtime for me after this. But so we've made our affiliate status. Thank you for everyone for following. We've gotten a couple, decent amount of subscribers already. It's been great. It's we're moving forward. People are really taking to our tabletop style. And the key is to show them that there's a role play aspect to the tabletop. That's what you have to show them, that it's not just all like a war game. There is a lot of interaction going on, and it's just because we're so comfortable with our play styles that a lot of so a lot of things get assumed, but there's a decent amount of it. Alrighty, well. I think that's gonna, we're gonna stick this to under 1/2 hour here. I think. Unless anyone who's online has any questions or wants to talk about anything, I'd be more than happy to talk about the adventure we're going to be doing. 8th, 9th level is pretty high in my campaign. Characters tend to start getting to the point where they retire at around 12th. Being 1st and 2nd edition. This is not Forgotten Realms world. It's Greyhawk, so people aren't running around 25th level. You get to a certain level and you kind of we still use the higher level characters, which we did a couple adventures ago, but they're not used as much. So I'd like to say thanks a lot for everyone who watched today. Brian, thank you. Happy anniversary once again. If I know you got some things going on. If you hop on tomorrow night, that's great. We're looking really forward to our game. Like I said, I think it's going to run a little long. We'll try to start right at 7, but I think we may run fairly long into the night on this one, because we're going to finish it, do Treasure Division, do everything but experience. So my guess is it may run to midnight, but you never know. So hey, thank you. My name is Jay, aka Lord Gazumba. And please, once again, Lord Gazumba channel. We're doing fantastic. And I hope to see you on tomorrow night. And keep up the good gaming. And if you're at Gen Con, fantastic. Hope things are going great there. If not, and you get a chance to watch us, please do. I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you.